we'll keep an eye on it as that situation plays out here. And it came out today that Stefon Diggs was traded to the Houston Texans for, I believe it was a second-round pick and some other draft picks here. Now, Houston, it was incredible. They were the doormat of the NFL 2 seasons ago. They have a draft. They draft C.J. Stroud. They draft Will Anderson. They hired DeMeco Ryans as head coach. And they've completely changed the direction, the culture of that franchise, and has them going at it, trying to go win it all. And Grant, in our group chat today, has already made a declaration that it is going to be Chiefs-Texans in the AFC Championship game.
I did.
I think it's totally fair.
Yep. And it's going to be the week 1 game, too. They're going to start the season off because guess what? Houston's scheduled to go to Kansas City this year. That will be the Super Bowl champs against the upstart team. The team that we thought the Bengals were going to be, the new team is the Texans. And I think we're going to see them play again in January.
If there was ever a book that should be written on how to turn a franchise around, like the Texans the last 18 months are it. Like, without a doubt.
Yeah. Well, and I think Will Anderson and C.J. Stroud, I think, tremendous on the field, but I think they are tremendous players off the field as far as leaders go. They're the bring your lunch pail to work. They're all about ball. They don't really care. They don't care about the fancy clothes. They don't care about the endorsements. They just want to be football players. And I think it's showing, and a guy like a DeMeco Ryans, who is all about that, all about the work too. Guys rally around him. He's a leader of men, and that franchise they've had some rough ownership, and they seem to turn it around. And here we are, giving the wonderful, beautiful city of Houston some flowers.
I will say this. If I was going to go get a wide receiver, I don't know if it would have been Diggs. I probably would have been looking more at T. Higgins. I think he fits what this team needs more, a guy that's going to go up and get it. They have guys similar to Diggs and Collins and crap.
Well, I would say Collins is more of a go up and get it guy like a Higgins would be. But they Tank Dell and T. Higgins on.
When I'm throwing a 50-50 ball,
I want Higgins.
I want Higgins over Collins 7 days out of the week.
Yep.
I mean, Collins,
and
I understand, Dylan, Yes, I understand, Dylan, you got to back him because he's a Michigan man.
Well, I'm not saying if you ask me who's better, I would say T. Higgins is better, but I mean, their games are somewhat similar.
Collins can get his own, for sure. Yes, absolutely. But I'm going with Higgins. I really am.
But you know what? Here's the thing. Cincinnati probably told him. First round pick. Cincinnati's not sick of T. Higgins' antics like Buffalo is with Stefon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing you have to worry about with Houston in this trade is this. We mentioned these 3 receivers. You have Dalton Schultz. They brought in Joe Mixon. They got Damian Pierce. There's only one football around. If Diggs doesn't get his 1,000 yards and his 8 to 10 touchdowns, is he going to be a cancer to the locker room? 2 teams have already traded him out of town.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one thing you have to worry about here, Houston, because you are a young, fragile locker room. And I understand C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson are good people, but if you get around a possibly toxic individual, that can strain something real quick. So it'll be interesting, but I will say this. If there's one coach I think who can get Stefon in line, it's DeMeco. And I think Stefon has to sit back and realize that you've already burned 2 bridges there, brother. You burn a third one, you're out of this league.
Literally, if I was DeMeco, I'd sit him down and be like, you create some sort of scene. I'm not scared to fucking get rid of you. Like,
yeah.
And I think that's what he'll do.
You're not untouchable.
Correct.
I think the 2 coaches that Stefon Diggs played for, I think there's some disconnect as far as how McDermott and Zimmer connected with players. I think DeMeco Ryans, I think he is a lot better developing that player-coach connection. that I think maybe might get something to turn on in Diggs' head to where he's not going to be that problem.
And then also, just off of recent seasons and lack of playoff success and playing against his biggest rival, the Chiefs, Stefon Diggs' game has not been an all-pro level. So he doesn't have that advantage anymore where he can sit back and say, hey, man, I'm Tyreek Hill. I'm Devonta Adams. I'm Justin Jefferson. His play has not reflected that in big games.
He also had the chance to put the dagger in the Chiefs last year, and it went right through his hands.
And it went right through his hands. That 70-yard beautiful throw, and he dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a shorter leash than what he thinks. And, Houston, they're taking a big swing, and this is what you got to do, though, guys, when you're paying a rookie on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
Blow it up.
No, that's exactly what you do.
Bring in Danielle Hunter on a 2-year deal. Bring Joe Mixon in for probably 2 years left on those tires before you're going to let him go. Bring in Stefon Diggs, where, you know what? Let's go all in for the next 3 years. Because after that, it's tough. It's tough to win in this league when you got to pay your quarterback.
Yeah, well, and if CJ Stroud continues at the trajectory that we think he's going to be going, he's going to be in the conversation for highest paid quarterback of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Or richest contract, but let's we've been going an hour here.
I will say this though, guys, with that Diggs trade, Houston, they've had a nice offseason. What they got to worry about though is health at the tackle position, and their interior 3 on the offensive line is not good. Baltimore pushed them around, and even they didn't play the Chiefs this year. They still don't have a guy who can block Chris Jones.
True.
So there's still some work to do, but hopefully D'Amico Ryans, he's smarter than me, and Nick Caserio, he should be smarter than me. So we'll see.